Welcome. All right. Let's try this one again. Welcome. Hey, good to see all of you. You know, sometimes I need to be awakened as well, so that it gets the blood moving. And that's really the reason for the song, Holy, Holy, Holy. It just gets the blood moving, gets us all working in the right direction. Aside from the fact that I get to quench my thirst for a 6-part harmony. You guys are so good. Did you hear that? I mean, it's so good. It sounds like this massive cathedral choir in here. It's really, really neat. Yeah. That's particularly for those of you that are live streaming, so that you know exactly what we're experiencing here. A cathedral choir, you guys. You're wonderful. So I'm Reverend Greg Dorst, and you have made it to Unity of Pasadena. What a special thing to be able to sit in these seats on a Sunday. And I say that because I'm here every Sunday, and I know what it feels like. So I have a phrase, and I know you do too, that I'd like you to join me in. I love Sundays. See, you thought I was going to say there's only one thing, didn't you? You thought I was going to say that. Well, let's do that. So please, there's only one thing. It may look like more than one thing. It may feel like more than one thing. But it's only one thing. Expressing is you. Expressing is me. And everything we see. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. Well, we are a loving community that supports one another. And once you enter these spaces of Unity of Pasadena, you get to recognize that we're all really just pulling on the same end of the rope. We're looking to accomplish something that we know we've always wanted, which is to become our greater yet to be. And we can do that in any moment. We can do it right now. We could set our sights on being our greater yet to be. And that's an experience that you just can't miss. So open your hearts today, open your minds to what it is that our speakers are saying and the material brings us. You are so welcome here. We have a unity blessing I'd like you to join me in now. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you just the way you are. We also have a statement of faith I'd like you to join me in. There's only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe. God the good omnipotence, and I am one with that presence and power. So as we let that sink in, let's just close our eyes and take a nice deep breath. And release it. Let's do one more. Just sink into your seat. And release it. And let's recognize that power and presence right now. The way it's often best recognized is through love, for love is often the description of God's presence here in this very room. So just feel the love flowing through you as you, in, around, and through this very space, and connect with that experience of the presence of God. Know that each of us is divinely guided today. Know that each of us is divinely blessed. Know that we enter this space recognizing that we're on a journey of self-discovery. Recognizing that as we step through the door, our greater self is emerging. We just revel in that. We love it. We're so thankful to have this space where we can meet, where we can gather together and talk about things that matter. We're so fortunate to have people to meet us at the door and greet us. And we're so thankful for those volunteers that do that. They just do it out of the goodness of their heart. I mean, there's Steve sitting in the seats. There's Bobby, who's generally making coffee or doing something back there, and they're the first to say hello. Welcome to Unity of Pasadena. We have a magnificent board of trustees that does all the work that's necessary for this space to stay open, for this space to be a welcoming, beautiful place. We have our musicians today, which bring a spiritual guidepost of goodness for us. It's just magnificent to hear the word in song. And we also have prayer chaplains who hold the light for each and every one of us here at Unity of Pasadena. We're so grateful for that. Our volunteers throughout this space here include the live streaming, the PowerPoint, the sound. We're just so grateful for people who step up and do the things that need to be done, as well as the ushing, and we're so thankful for that, Trish. So today is a magnificent day. We know it, we feel it, we accept it. And I release these words with great thanksgiving into the law of mind, knowing that they're already done. Please join me by saying, and so it is, amen. Thank you. And so it is. Interesting, isn't that? I remember the first time I heard, and so it is. And I sort of wondered what it was like, but it brought about a feeling that actually brought tears to my eyes. And so it is, because I so wanted it to be. I so wanted it to be that is, the best yet to come, the being of Spirit through me. And that's the first time I felt it, really, really felt it when I was in church. And it happened to be a Science of Mind experience, which is so closely aligned with what it is we do here in Unity. We're all New Thought traditions. So what we do at this juncture is we pick a question. And inside Jonah here, Jonah, wasn't the whale. Jonah was the person in the belly of the fish, but you understand the experience. So inside Jonah here is questions, our questions, and they're questions brought to us by you. And I appreciate that you're thoughtful and that you wish to bring about an experience for us to talk about early on in this service. We only get 3 minutes to do that, see, because I've made this the 3-minute question, because I don't want to go on and on and on and on and on, and I'm capable of that. Have you ever heard of that 12-step group called On and On and On and On and On? On and on and on? Got to say it with a little break there. On and on, anon. Yeah. So 3 minutes, that's all I get. You ready, Gay? All right, let's see what this is. Hope I can read it. What does the saying, question everything, lend to religious and spiritual experience? Question everything. Question everything. You guys have heard that before? So have I. I've heard question everything. And it's kind of, it seems like antithetical to the religious experience. I think when you walk into a church, the expectation is that you're going to get something that's absolute truth, and it should be the answers to all of your questions, rather than you questioning what it is that's spoken or what it is that's brought to your attention in church. Well, we're different, you guys, because I really believe that we should question everything. In fact, I just reminded me that that's the reason why we do this. That's the reason why we have a 3-minute question, so you can question everything. I remember reading one time about the difference between what it is we do in church today and what used to be done in temple. And let's say back in the day of Jesus, when they used to unroll the scroll of the Torah and they had it all marked out, what it is that they were going to talk about. They had certain passages in the Torah that they were going to talk about. Somebody would read that. It's not like everybody had their own scroll. I mean, it was in the day when, a temple had one, but you had to go to the temple in order to get the information. But they would read the scroll from the scroll of the Torah, and then they would open it up for questions. And so you had the opportunity to question what was going on. What does this mean? How does this work in our lives? What's the significance of this? How do we operate in this way? What is the truth in it? Why do we have to do these kinds of things? And there was a sense that what was being done in that space was they were questioning the efficacy of that Torah, which is just a healthy way to deal with your religious experience, isn't it? I mean, rather than sit there and go, oh, yeah, as we do today sometimes in church experiences, where the minister stands up and says, well, according to X, Y, Z in the Bible, here's the answer to all your problems, particularly the problems in this arena, and you can't question it because it's Scripture. You can't question it because it's the Word. I put that in quotes. You can't question it because it is inerrant. I don't know if you've heard that word before, inerrant, but that just means that everything in it is the absolute truth. And oftentimes the suggestion is that it was brought to us from, a higher power, from God. But we don't question it much anymore. And I love the idea of questioning what it is that you hear. I mean, that's where you get the good stuff, isn't it? I mean, what does that mean to me? How does that affect my life? What did you mean when you said that? One of the reasons why we meet afterward is so that we can have those kind of conversations, and we do. So, question everything. It's a very cool concept, and especially in religion and spirituality, in my view. I mean, it's the questions that really matter, isn't it? And for us to be afraid sometimes to question the authority of something or somebody, I think, is silliness. Yeah, so... There it is. I think I went about 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Strike the last 22 seconds. Strike that. Yep. So here we are. And who else wore a Hawaiian shirt today? Let's see. Where do we have it? Hawaiian. It was Hawaiian shirt day. You didn't get the memo. I actually expected it to be hotter in here. Because we're having air conditioners replaced. 2 of our air conditioners are being replaced. And you'll hear a little bit more about that today, but I expected it to be a little bit hotter, so I wore my cool shirt, We're going to do a song, and you guys are involved in that. So would you thrill us, please?
See yourself through me, seeing you, seeing me. I see myself through you, the beauty of your essence. See myself through you, seeing me. Use your eyes to recognize the lies I've tried to prove. All I am is all you are, and all you are is in my heart. Come now, you'll see clearer. Let me be your mirror of love. Be yourself with me, honestly. It's safe to be here in holy ecstasy, solving every mystery. And I'll be myself with you, giving you my gratitude, drifting on our sacred high, we fly. All I am is all you are, and all you are is in my heart. Come now, you'll see clearer. Let me be your mirror
Good morning. I hate to break this to you, Reverend Greg, but one of my favorite things on Sunday is the music. If I were sitting down there, I would have my phone out and looking for that song. And I'm sometimes disappointed at their version. It's beautiful. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Today's daily word is valuable. As a divine being, I am valuable and irreplaceable. Each person is a spiritual being, made in the image and likeness of God, blessed with a variety of spiritual gifts we share in different ways. The world needs my unique contributions. When I see myself this way, I become newly aware of my value as a member of the human family, more confident in myself as I shine the light of God as only I can. Living in the awareness of my value helps others to see it too. I leave behind critical or negative opinions I may have held about myself and treat myself as the divine being that I am. Like a beautiful gemstone, I too am a precious jewel among so many others. Together, we sparkle and we shine. So God created humankind in its image. In the image of God, He created them. Male and female, He created them. Genesis 1, verse 27.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, I so wish I would have been sitting in the back so I could have recorded that on my phone. Christy just got back from a spiritual conference that she was on all last week at Asilomar, for those of you who know the Asilomar conference, and you can just feel her still floating through her voice. It was just beautiful. Mitch, it was absolutely beautiful. Okay, so let's start with the Lord's Prayer, shall we? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we have forgiven our debtors. And leave us not into temptation, but deliver us from error. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. So, spiritual resilience. How many people here like sports? How many people here know that the 2024 Olympics start? The opening ceremonies are on the 26th. So some of you didn't know that, huh? So when I think of spiritual resilience, I think of the balance that there needs to be. And the balance is spiritually, emotionally, and physically. And I see that in athletes. And I recently heard some interviews going on leading up to the Olympics this week. And one of them was Simone Biles. Do we all know who Simone Biles is? And she had so much work to do with herself from the last Olympics to now. Didn't know if she was going to be in it. She did therapy. She did a spiritual connection. She worked so hard, and she has come back so strong. Can't wait to watch her. She is so amazing. And I also heard one of my all-time favorite basketball players is LeBron James. And he spoke in the same terms as that, having that spiritual resilience in you, and the physical and the emotional. It's all one package for our greats, for our, it's just such a wonderful thing that we get to have these Olympics, we get to connect with these athletes at this time in our world where some things just don't look so good, you know, political-wise. We'll just set that aside. But for me, that's where I feel the USA, you know, when they're competing in there. And I feel it in my heart as an athlete myself in my younger days. And it's just so strong, and it's so big, and it's so pure. And Steph Curry was also talking last week about that. And he was talking about his spiritual side and meeting his wife at the church that they both went 2 years ago. And how he just had his 4th child, and he's not there with the baby. The baby was just born a few weeks ago because he's traveling all over the world right now. They're in London now, but the USA basketball team has been everywhere the last few weeks, and they're kicking butt. But that spiritual resilience is just there. So I know that we're either showing up, and this was something that my beloved teacher, Reverend Dr. Maureen Hoyt, taught in my practitioner class, my ministerial class, that we're either showing up as our unhealed past or our spiritual magnificence. So where are you at today? What are we working on today? What are we doing today to get that spiritual resilience, to get ourselves to that spiritual magnificence that we are, we all are. So if you'll just join me in closing your eyes, and we're going to take 2 minutes in silence. Now, just stay in the space that you're in and take these words as your own. Right now, right in this very moment, I live in a perfect world. The energy of spirit is moving in, through, and around all things. And I am one with God, for God is everything. As I stay in the now, I feel the power and presence of God within me. I express love for myself and everyone in my world. I am the best I have ever been. I am not my past, so I release what does not serve my highest good. My truth is heard as I stand tall, proud, and full of life. My intention for today allows clarity, empowerment, and freedom. I embrace each moment with love, knowing, feeling, and believing fully in its power. I open my eyes, ears, and mind to all God is and all I am. I listen with my heart to my inner voice. Each move I make and every word I speak is magnified with perfection, recognizing the ever-increasing good in my life. I accept this truth with a grateful heart full of love. I give thanks for all in my world. I release my word into the law of mind, and it is so. And that was written by Jackie Dorst. So open your eyes and come back in the room.
That was beautiful, Jackie. When darkness closes in and you can't find your way, the doubts you drag around only seem to say, how can you make it on your own? Remember, you're never alone. Lean into me, I will raise you up. Gather your faith and we'll walk on water. Hold out your hand when you can't go on. Let go and lean into me. You're longing to be filled with a peace that overflows, to hear my quiet voice. Just be still and know, in every sacred silence, I'm only a whisper away. Lean into me, I will raise you up. Gather your faith and we'll walk on water. Hold out your hand when you can't go on. Just let go and lean into me. With every leap of faith comes the risk you may slip and stumble. Leave what you've known behind. On the edge you'll find I won't let you fall. Lean into me, I will raise you up. Gather your faith and we'll walk on water. Hold out your hand when you can't go on. Just let go and lean into me. Let go and lean into me.
Man, that was good. Let go and lean into me. You know, it's the job of the musicians to sort of read my mind when they're choosing music, because I don't choose it for them. They get a sense for what the topic's going to be, and then they choose the music, and sometimes they'll run it. Christy always does. Christy always runs it by me, and half the time I don't know the songs, and so I'll just say, this sounds good, or that sounds good, or whatever you want to do. And I have that trust in the musicians, the team. And Mitch is always right on target, so is Christy. And this, it's so on target because it has so many of the elements in it of what it is we need to do in order to be resilient, in order to cultivate a spirit of resilience, in order to cultivate that in our body, in our emotions, in our spiritual lifestyle. Now, I got to tell you, I'm one that believes that everything's spiritual. I don't know how you guys track on that, but I believe everything's spiritual. I think your body's a spiritual experience here in this world. A spiritual experience is happening through you right now, no matter what. Whether it's your feeling, whether it's the sense of your body or how your body's functioning, or how it is that your mind and your soul are combining and aligning together to bring you something that not only feels great but seems true. I mean, all of that for me comes under the heading of spiritual. I believe it's all spiritual. But I didn't used to believe that. I didn't. In fact, I'd walk into a church and I'd listen to what it is people had to say, and usually it started with the experience of Sunday school because I was a little kid, and I would hear some things in Sunday school and try and somehow bring them to my understanding as a child, and then go into church after Sunday school and not understand a doggone word, except for the fact that I knew I was a sinner. And they wanted me to know that because they were going to ask me, this is my childlike mind, but as I look at it from the adult perspective today, I was absolutely right. They wanted me to come up to the altar and to give myself in some way or fashion to something that could save me from that sinner nature. And so it makes sense to call me a sinner. It made sense to call me a person who was in danger of going someplace that, doggone it, an 8-year-old shouldn't have to worry about going, but it happened. And so here I was in this church and made friends with a lot of the kids who were in Sunday school and some of the people in that particular church. And I was having somewhat of a religious experience, one that as I grew older I would begin to reject. And I began to reject it because I thought that there was something larger. It was sort of a narrow way for me to think. It was a narrow way for me to live. And so in this space of rejecting something or questioning something, because there wasn't much room for questioning, either you accepted it or you rejected it, I rejected it. Now, an interesting thing happened over the years. Over the years, I was able to understand that there is a power, the power of something that drives the seed it motivates the seed to crack open and something brand new to emerge, that motivates everything that has to do with our life experience today to push forward and become something brand new. There is this thing called life that seems to be working in favor of life every single moment of every single day. We live near a park. It's Chino Hills State Park, and there are 15,000 acres of wild lands up there, and there are some wild animals up there too, and that's great. Nothing serious. There's some deer and some coyotes, and there might be a bobcat or two, who knows, and some birds that are really great hunters. Lots of birds in there. But it's 15,000 acres, and it becomes wooded and grassy and burns once in a while. It does. It completely burns once in a while. And a few years ago, it burned. There was a small fire that started because of a wire that fell to the ground, and it burned everything. And as we sat there watching it happen, we just couldn't believe it. Here's this beautiful park on fire. And that was about 3, maybe 4 years ago. And if you walked up there today, you would not even know that that park had burned. You wouldn't. The trees have all come back. All of the grasses, all the wildflowers continue to bloom in the springtime. All of the animals that were there continue to be there today. All of the paths have been remade so that people can walk those paths. This is an even more beautiful park than it was before it burned. How could that possibly happen? I mean, this is life, right? This is life, the resilience of you and me and everything that lives, coursing through the entire makeup of what is. Stars moving around out there, new galaxies being formed, some dying, some being released from our system of life, always bringing forth new life. You know, they say we're stardust. You know, I mean, this system has been around long enough for that stardust to not only get inside of us, but maybe to have made us. Wow, talk about the resilience of life. So I found this thing to be my power. You know, I wasn't ready to let go of the idea that there's nothing behind any of this stuff that is all that is. Although I couldn't believe in the religious aspects of it, I started to believe in the spiritual aspects of it, which brought me to this place where everything is spiritual. Brought me to this place where I understood God as all that unfolds. I understood as God inhabiting each and everything that we see, feel, know, and are every moment. I understand as God as that power that operates through everything that is, the things we can see and the things we can't see. I mean, it must be. Life is pushing up. You can't ignore it. What's doing that? What is it? And I came to understand that it's really a massive intelligence. It is an amazing big mind that operates for each and every one of us, and we operate within it. God simply becoming everything that is. As Richard Rohr says, because he loved you so much, he became you. So I started to understand that maybe rejecting the idea of God or religiosity wasn't the way to go, but the rejection itself brought me to a larger truth. Do you understand that? Yeah. Maybe the rejection is not the way to go, but the rejection itself brought me to a larger truth, much like the way I feel resilience happening in my body. I don't know if you guys feel this or not, if you work out, if you dance, or even if you sing because you're exercising your vocal cords, but when you do, you're a little bit sore. Really. You know, I go to the gym a lot, and when I go to the gym, it's usually January or so, there's a whole new crop of people in some brand new spandex. And they're doing their thing, they stick around a couple of days maybe, and I can tell who they are because it's brand new stuff. And I think to myself, how many of these people are going to be here in a week, you know, or 2 weeks or 3 weeks? Because they thin out. You know, they hurt their muscles and they go, oh, this isn't for me. You know, but then there are the group of people that understand that that's how you move forward. You know, that you actually work the muscle, it gets sore, it heals, it becomes more resilient, and you get stronger. Gosh, that's the body working resilience, isn't it? I mean, there's something so spiritual about that, too. For me, it's amazing that we can work on this resilience issue and become aware of it and become part of its experience. So I know that resilience happens in the outside world because I see it all the time. But how the heck does it happen in the spirit world, you know? In that world that we can't see? How does it become a spiritual driving force for change, for good, for the next level experience? How does that happen? How does it happen? Well, it happens just through practice, too. It happens through practice. And it happens because we do it together as well. You know, one of the greatest things for improved spiritual growth is to do it in a group. You know, when you're feeling down, you feel like you want to separate yourselves from everybody, that's the exact wrong thing to do. what you need to do is step into the spiritual community, the spiritual group of people that understand who you are, where you came from, where you're going, and what's really happening in life. I mean, not that we really know the answers to that, but at least we have some vague sense that life is at work within us. So, spiritual community and leaning on me is such a big idea. Leaning on us, leaning into the situations that are difficult for us together is one of the greatest gifts that we can attain. And I know that because I see it all the time. You see, I know that we're resilient as human beings, but we could use a little boost once in a while, you know? We really could. We could use a boost. Last week, we were sitting here and standing here talking about a person who could use a boost from each and every one of us. Do you remember the prayer we did for Bonnie? Remember that? Yeah. And I don't know how you felt about that. Did you like being involved in that? You like being engaged in that exercise where you just felt Spirit moving within you and knew that the combined efforts of each and every one of us were not only going to work, but they were powerful? I mean, it was just pulsing through you. I know it was me. I know it was Bonnie, too. I know it was pulsing through Bonnie, too. Bonnie has moved from this space where nobody knew whether or not she was going to take her next breath to a place where she's been unhooked from medications. She's been unhooked from the machine that keeps her kidneys working, that's constantly being involved in her well-being so that she can experience dialysis in a different way. She's breathing on her own. She's talking. She's recognizing people. She's laughing, and she's complaining. That's all good stuff, isn't it, Don? Yeah. Don goes, oh, God, she's back. Oh, my heart be still. Oh, you guys, you got to understand this, because I do, is that this combined community of people who love her recognize how healing takes place. It takes place in mind first, that big mind that each and every one of us entered together to see her as perfect, whole, and complete. And we're going to do that again today in our own way. But we have some other people we want to throw into that mix as well, because they need help being resilient, moving through the... Resilient is to just bounce back. That's what resiliency is all about, bouncing back. And we have Luann, who's in that space where bouncing back is necessary. We have Connie, whom we all know and love. You know, the hats, sitting right there, typically. And she's experiencing some health challenges, and we need to see her as perfect, whole, and complete as well. We have Shirley as well that we'd like to see as perfect, whole, and complete. And we have an entire box of people who leave prayer requests that we pray on all the time, seeing people perfect, whole, and complete. So what I want you to do is close your eyes for just a moment. Just close your eyes and see a perfect, whole, and complete Bonnie. See one sitting up in bed and just talking and yapping and having food and enjoying her friends. And see Connie is just walking this earth free and beautiful and pain-free and feeling the sunshine on her face. And Luann, see her as perfect, whole, and complete. And Shirley as pain-free, moving through this world as the perfect person she is, smiling constantly because life is good. For each and every one of these people and more, each and every person that's part of this community, and I believe it's a worldwide community, we just know perfection. We know that the healing power of Spirit is at work within each and every one of them. And what we do is we just magnify it through our ability to see what is the truth. That is that they are perfect, whole, and complete. And as Myrtle Fillmore would say, child of God. And that does not contain disease. And so with this knowing, we just give great thanksgiving for it being so. We see it, we let it go. We take our hands off of it, let God do the work, and join me by saying, and so it is. All right, so we're practicing resilience. That is practicing resilience. I see that as practicing spiritual resilience as well. So there's something else I want to talk about that is practicing spiritual resilience, because it takes courage to move into this space, and I know all of you know about this. And I say this not because I necessarily am asking you to do something. I'm bringing it up as one of the best examples I know of the resilience of spirit, of spiritual resilience. And part of it has to do with an experience that myself and Jackie encountered. Because there was a time in our lives when we were engaged in a different kind of work. You know, I mean, I was the chief executive officer of hospitals, and I would go to work and sit down at my desk and field phone calls and look at contracts and call somebody and tell them this can't be the way we're going to do it. We're going to change this. We're going to change that. Working with governmental entities to try and help people to move through their mental health concerns as well as their substance use disorders on a large scale was difficult work. And it was painstakingly tedious. And when I was finished with that work, I was tired. And I was tired out because of the personalities that I had to work with, because of the greed of the insurance companies, because of the things that I saw and felt and understood to be the barriers to people actually getting well. They were always on my mind. Now, perhaps I was the right person to do that, but there are others who can do that. There are others who can do that kind of stuff. And we made a decision that we were going to let others do that, because what we wanted to do was not live life with a comfortable salary going through misery every single day, but to live life in a space where we were creative in heart, creative in mind. And we knew we could do that if we just cut back on all the things we seemed to be worried about. Finances, obtaining property, obtaining prestige, you know, all of that kind of stuff that comes with those kind of jobs. We cut back significantly on everything so that we would drive our creativity, because the need for something drives what it is you get. And we wanted to create the need. You know, you guys know that, and I quote this all the time. I quote the book of Greg all the time. I quote, and the reason why I do that is because I want you to know that I'm thinking about these things, and I want you to know that I write them down, and they're important to me. They're so much a part of my life today. But here's the part you don't know. They didn't used to be. They did not used to be, until we decided to starve ourselves of those things that we thought we needed so much, which is more income than we needed, you know, more celebrity than we needed, more, fake friends than we needed, whatever it might be. We decided to let that stuff go. And we decided that we were going to be vessels for giving, which allowed us to tithe, which also was an amazingly creative experience for us, you see, because once you have a set income that you're used to and you decide to go ahead and tithe, then you are set on a path of either doing something to creatively bring about more good, or just feeling like you've given something away. We started this creative idea of tithing, which opened up channels, which allowed us to be creative in mind and brought new things and new ideas. I write for a lot of different publications today. I didn't used to do that. My stuff is online all over the place, and I absolutely love it. That's part of what it is that was necessary to bring about the experience of opening the channels. You see, because when you give away money, and I don't care how you do it, whether you burn it or whatever it is you do, you are creating that scar like you do with your muscle, you see, and it's going to heal, and it's going to bring about more, and it's going to bring about a better way to be resilient in life. It's going to do that. The person I know that does that the best is Bonnie. Bonnie does that. Bonnie goes, I need a sale. I think I'd better give the church money. Or I need a sale. I think I better give this nonprofit money. She's a real estate agent. I need a sale, so I'd better give away something of what I have to open up that channel. I mean, it is palpable. And it has not only worked on a spiritual basis, but it's worked for everybody around her too. I mean, I think that it's the best example of spiritual resilience that I know. Do you know that this church has been a spiritually resilient space? Do you know that it just feels like newness is happening, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel like it? I mean, people come in here and they say, I just feel like there's something special going on here. And I stand right here and I say something, or I do an om, and I feel like my entire body is vibrating with life. What a neat thing. There is spiritual resilience in this group, and it is absolutely apparent. Because 4 years ago, there was some talk of selling this church. And those of you in leadership here knew that some things were going on with COVID and lack of funds that created a situation where it felt like maybe releasing this building would be the best thing to do. Nope. They didn't do that. They didn't do a lot of the things that people who fear the process of prosperity, which is sometimes working that muscle, you know. Sometimes 2 steps back before you can take 3 steps forward. They didn't fear any of that. And together, the board of trustees and each and every one of you and the people that are listening online, and Jackie and me and everybody who's here praying for us each and every day, have created a situation where this place is not only spiritually strong, but it's getting spiritually and financially stronger every single day. And that's because each and every one of you are doing that. You're doing that. You know, life is so interesting, isn't it? I mean, how does it work? We try and tell stories about how it works for children and for adults, you know, with Scrooge, for interest. Scrooge during Christmas time, you know, I mean, he had all this money, doggone it. He had all this money and wasn't happy. And it wasn't until he started giving it away that he became happy, you know? I mean, I remember watching that on television, you know, as a cartoon, thinking, wow, that's a really interesting story about a bad man who became good, but it's not about that at all. It's about a man who didn't trust, who became trusting. It's about a man who stepped into something new so that he could change. And so I was thinking about that when I wrote this quote, because there aren't a lot of quotes that I come up with that fit what I want to say, so I write them on my own. This is from the book of Greg. You are constrained by your own inability to let go. You are constrained by your own inability to let go. Wow. I got chills when that came through me, you know, but I'm used to it now. So that's right here on page whatever of the book of Greg. This is the 3rd volume, by the way, and I think that it's one of the best things I ever did was starting to write down the things that I thought were important to me and were important ideas about life. Because you know what was happening? And this is just a recommendation for you. What was happening was that I was thinking things that I thought were great thoughts, and then I forgot them faster than I thought them. Do you know what I mean? Yes? And so I had to write them down as soon as I thunk them so they wouldn't go away. And not that my mind is a sieve, but it's funny how, you know, if you don't keep it in mind for a while, it seems to just disappear. Yeah. So here's the deal. I see us as resilient, spiritually, physically, emotionally. We step forward knowing, and this is a great reframe for those of you that were in the 4-week class, step forth knowing that anything that seems to be difficult is an opportunity. We turn it around. We take advantage of it. We step up to the next level, for that's where our greater yet to be is. So we just bless those opportunities to be resilient. We just bless those opportunities to grow, whether it's through pain, through suffering, or whatever it is. We're growing. So the God in me recognizes the God in you. Please join me by saying namaste. Thank you so much. So, yes, yep. So here's where I usually make the mistake of putting the microphone down. I heard back, yeah. Don't do it. Thank you. She's back there to give me hand signals. You know, it's like, hold the microphone, don't put it down, none of this, 3 minutes. Yeah, come on forward, Trish. Oh, man, look who's on today. My goodness. Oh, we got Virginia Hutchins Carroll. We got Michael O'Brien, who did the little trick to see. He logged in from here so that he would hear his own name. Nicely done, Michael. Nicely played, my friend. We got Sylvianne and Victor. We got Paul Womack. We got, Audrey's on. Good to see you, Audrey and Colleen, all the way from Illinois, you guys. We got Gloria Windrum. Gloria's on. Gloria. Gloria. Can we do that? Yeah. Oh, we got Reverend Reverend Michael from Vista. Oh, Reverend Michael, that is so cool. Oh, by the way, I might as well let the cat out of the bag. Reverend Michael asked me to be a board member for Southwest Unity, which encompasses many of the states. And so I'm going to probably step into that position. And I think it's about time that we got involved with the larger Unity organization. So there we go. Thank you, Reverend Michael. And we got Mama Joy on, too. Somehow she got on. How'd she get on? Can you believe that? Joy Ernst made it on. That's like a trip to Mars for her. and if you know her, you recognize the truth in that. So I'm going to put that right there, okay? I love that. Love it. And so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about our giving, community giving, just for a second here before we say this statement. But what we do is we provide the spiritual energy for this space and the space around this community to grow and feel the truth around what life is all about. I mean, I think we make a big difference in the world. I really do. I think our consciousness permeates not only this area, but the rest of the world. We are it. And so we join in our giving statement. God is the source of my overflowing supply, and I am grateful, and so it is.
For my soul sister, Karen Drucker. I love that woman. I can do it. I can do anything. When I say what I want and I walk my talk, it all comes back to me. I can do it. I can do anything. I release, let go with the flow. This is where I'm supposed to be. Today I say I get out of my way and live a life that's meant for me. I state my claim in Spirit's name. Yeah, I choose my destiny. I can do it, yes I can do anything. When I say what I want and I walk my talk, it all comes back to me. Yes, I can do anything. I release, let go, and just go with the flow. This is where I'm supposed to be. Right here, right now. Today I choose how to be all I can be. I heal my life, let go of the strife. I embrace the mystery. I can do anything. When I say what I want and I walk my talk, it all comes back to me. Yes, I can do it. Can you? Anything. I release, let go, and go with the flow. This is where I'm supposed to be. I can do it. Yeah. Let me say we. Yes, we can do it. Say it to yourself. I can Bonnie do it? Yeah. Can she do anything? She can. I can do it. Come on. Anything. Oh, I can do it. We can do it. All can do it. Do it. Can you do it? Come on, man. Do it. I can do it. Yeah.
Well, that kind of coincides with, if you put me back on, here we go. Hey. Hello, hello. Thank you, appreciate that. You know, I say all the time, we can do anything we want around here. I do. I mean, and you know, they wrote a song about it, didn't they? As Karen Drecker who wrote that. She must have been hearing me. Yeah, it was, of course, I had something to do with it. So here's what we know. We know that these tithes and treasures are used in ways that create not only a beautiful, conscious community here at Unity of Pasadena, but also for our surrounding community, which we are engaged in, which we align with, which we move forward along with us each opportunity we get. We're so thankful for the participation in the healing of this world as well as individuals within it. And with that thanksgiving, we release it, we let it go, and we say together, and so it is, amen. Thank you so much, Trish. I appreciate it. Barbara, are you the one today? Oh, it's Bill. Come on up, Bill.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Christy and Mitch. Amazing. Just so amazing. All right. Well, today. So you've seen our vision, mission, and core values demonstrated in our service today. Let's take a moment now and affirm them together. Envisioning a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And now our vision. Up. Now we're going mission, all right. Transforming lives by living and sharing our inner truth of divine wisdom, compassion, and love, using practical spiritual and our core values. Creating community, living love, teaching truth, serving spiritual. Okay, so what's happening next? Well, today, our hospitality is the third Sunday of the month is Team L through R, taking the lead today. Next week will be July 8th, and it's the fourth Sunday with Team S through Z. Thank you for everyone who plans, provides, sets up, serves, and cleans us every Sunday for our wonderful hospitality time. If you forget your teamwork weeks, remember the hospitality teams are now listed on the monthly bulletin. And this event, this amazing event, shall we say, Jackie, do you want to come up and say some things?
Thank you, Bill. Okay, everybody, it is really coming together. We're down to the wire. We were sweating it, but the air conditioners will be on, so we won't be. Yay! And today on the news, I heard that it's going to be 10 degrees cooler starting on Saturday. Yay! Woo, woo, woo! Everything's moving perfectly, right, Bill? Yes, so all the little details now are coming together. Oh, one thing that everyone needs to know, I have let Georgette off the hook since she was the only one signed up for the bake sale. We're canceling the bake sale. We don't need to deal with that on top of everything else. So she's already signed up for other things to do. So thank you, Georgette. And if you are signed up to meet on Friday, the time will be 11 o'clock here. Even though they're going to be still tidying up from putting the new air conditioners in, we won't be in their way. And and I need to talk to each one of you that are signed up for Friday. So if you're not going to be here on at that time. If that time doesn't work for you, just check in with me anyway. I still need 2 more ice chests. So if you have an ice chest, Clifta? Okay, I need 1 more ice chest. Did you find one, Georgette? 1 more. And that should be enough of that. Barbara might have. Do you have an ice chest, Barbara? Do you have an ice chest? Okay. And I still need 1 more easy up. So a 10 by 10 or bigger. And I think that's about it, but it's going to be great. The next time I'll be seeing you will be on Saturday. Come on down and experience all that we are going to be offering here. And the people that are doing the sessions in there are going to be just pouring their heart out. We have the vendors that we have are a clothing vendor, On the Go Clothing, and a jewelry man named Jorge, I forgot his last name, and we have the honey man, that was Lonnie Scott from Norco, and we have our food vendor from my neighborhood. And so we are looking good. I'm really excited about this, guys. It's going to be a great success. All right, you ready for the microphone back? Oh, and also Christy did hang around with Jamie Lula all week, and Karen Drucker all week, and on Anton Miserak and Lori Berryhill. So that's who she was hanging around.
Thank you, Jackie. Oh, Christy, we got to talk afterwards. Yeah, we got to talk. All right. So, thank you, Jackie. How many people are planning on being here Saturday? Okay. How many people are volunteering? I'll bring a pop-up. I have that. Good. Okay. All right. So, fire and ice. So, it was at 2023, we decided to replace 2 of the 5 heating and air conditioning units on the roof. And that was done. And that cost for that was $20,000. So if you walk outside here and between, right where the fan is, you'll see a thermometer on the wall. We hit $10,165. So let's celebrate that we have that money. So that leaves us only $9,835 left for that, the first 2. Now remember, these units are 37 years old, so they're rusted out, they're broke. So what we're doing now is we're replacing 2 new units, and we're taking one out that we no longer use. So it's got to be pulled out, taken away, and we have to fill the holes that are in the roof. We're also going to add some needed repair to the ductwork on the other 2, and the cost of that is $28,000. So it's about $37,000, $38,000 left to do this. And we can do this. We need to do this, and we won't have to be worried about this for another 30 years. So I just want to thank you, and keep in mind that the abundance of our lives is only what we claim it is. So I want to thank you, and I love you. Okay.
You know, I just love being the banister that we don't have. That's what I am. You know, when I stick my hand out here, when I give them my shoulder, I'm the banister that we don't have, so we don't have anybody fall down. So we are going to do a silent unity prayer for protection. We're going to stand for that. And then we're going to sing today, I Choose Love. But just so that you know, we have prayer chaplains throughout, and Jackie is our prayer chaplain of the day. And if you'd like prayer after service, please stay in your seat, and she'll come around to you, and you'll get the prayer experience of a lifetime. So there we go. Please join me in the silent unity prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is. I am divine, and all is well.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are one tie that binds us, that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present. I choose love. We are all part of each other. We